Remembrance is an interesting thing in that it's both borrowed and invented. Here in Australia you see that process very well. Of course the template for Remembrance Day is taken from Britain, particularly the 2-minute silence that marks the event, the solemn moment when we contemplate loss on the 11th of the 11th of the 11th. But of course that originally, that 2-minute silence was invented by a Melburnian, George Honey, who was responsible for marking for suggesting 2 minutes silence to the King in 1919. And that's eventually adopted as a kind of template, if you like, of remembrance itself. To sanctify the shrine, one of the things that makes the shrine a living memorial is the ray of light, which originally simply moved across that stone, marking the word love, on the 11th of the 11th of the 11th. It was really quite controversial at the shrine when daylight saving was introduced, and this extraordinary, what was actually seen as quite miraculous, the way the light would move across the stone at that precise moment. And of course daylight saving made a complete muddle of that, so they had to re-up an elaborate contraption of mirrors to replicate, to simulate that ceremony. And what happened after that is that the trustees of the shrine realised the kind of marketing potential that the ray of light had. So it's now every half hour, I think, at the shrine that they actually simulate the ray of light moving across the stone. It's interesting, I think, in that the stone itself is in a way, again, harking back to that British model. It's the same black stone that marks the grave of the unknown soldier in the heart of Westminster Abbey. And of course in 1934, when the shrine is finally completed, we don't have our own unknown soldier brought back to Australia. Our unknown soldier is the man buried in Westminster Abbey because he represents all of the British armies that fought during the Great War. So here again you've got this kind of linkage, if you like, between imperial patterns of remembrance and Australian patterns of remembrance.